So when most people start to learn ZB, they would typically probably start with U and then move on to T, L, etc. And these are pretty good. I think all of the algs are really good and the recognition is really easy. But realistically, I think that the best ZB set to save time, if you don't want to learn full ZB, is probably going to be pi, just because it has so many half turns. And especially when you get into a situation where like you're having to do pi followed by a diag ZBLL, it's just really helpful to be able to skip it with ZB. All of the algs are relatively simple and they have pretty easy recognition. So I'm going to go through them all, and I'll put the alg on the top of the screen, I'll go through it slowly, and then I'll go through it quickly, and I'll do my best to try to explain it in an intuitive way, using like you're taking this pair out instead of just letters. So I'll explain like the triggers and stuff. So for this first alg, you can recognize it just by this bar right here, and then all of the edges are solved, so you're really just moving the corners around. So you're going to start by doing a commutator, so R prime, U prime, and then do a comm with a U move. And then you're going to do U2, and then another commutator, but with a U2 this time. So faster would look like this. You can recognize this next case by seeing that there's two bars on the sides, and then you have this edge opposite to these corners. This alg kind of feels like the standard OL alg, and this edge is going to stay where it is. So you can kind of see how that is similar to the OL, but faster it would look like this. You can recognize this next case by seeing that there's this bar right here, and then there's another bar on the left. You hold it from this angle, and the AUF is just at this edge, stays where it is. So the alg goes like this. So you can see that it's kind of just like two commutators shoved together. So it's like a commutator right here that also kind of looks like one of the U ZBs, and then you do another commutator right here to reinsert the pair. Faster it looks like this. This is the mirror of the last case, so you have a bar here and then a bar on the right. And the way that you do this alg is you're going to do R and then F with your ring finger, kind of like that. And I don't really know how to explain it, so this is just going to be one of the more algorithmic ones that doesn't have very many triggers. Faster like this. You can recognize this case by seeing that you have opposites right here. This edge is opposite to these two corners, and then this edge on the left is opposite to this corner. It also kind of looks like an H perm if you look at it from right here. So you're going to do a sexy move, and then another one, but with an R2 to cancel into pairing this up with a D move. Then you're going to do R, U prime, R prime, D to fix the bottom. And then you just do U prime and then reinsert the pair with U2. So, oh, and sorry, for AUF, this edge is going to go to the right. So faster will look like this. This is the mirror of the last case, so instead of being on the left, you have it on the right, where you have this edge opposite to this corner, and then this edge in the middle opposite to its two corners that are surrounding it. So it's the same alg, except for you're going to do it in the back. So do a U2, this edge is going to move to the back. So then you do back sexy twice, cancel into pairing this up, and then split up the pair like that, and then R prime U2 R to reinsert the pair. Faster will look like this. This next case is the inverse of the first one, where the H perm kind of thing was on the left. So this time you have this edge surrounded by adjacent corners, and you have this edge opposite to this corner. This edge is going to go to the back, so you do it kind of in the same way because it's just the inverse. So you take out this pair, and then you do a commutator, putting this into the bottom, and then pairing it back up and inserting. Faster looks like this. So the mirror of the last dog, again you can recognize it with this edge opposite to this corner, and then this edge is between adjacent corners. So you could just do like the last alg, but in the back from like right here, but I don't like that. So instead, what I like to do is R U2 R prime U2, so it takes this pair out, and then you put the pair back in like this, but you take this pair out in the back, and then F U R U2 R prime to pair this back up, and then just do inverse sexy F prime. And so for the AUF, this edge just goes straight here. Oh, no, it doesn't. It just is U2. Okay, sorry about that. There are two ways that you can recognize this case. You can either see that you have a bar here, and then this edge is opposite to the bar and between adjacent corners, or you can recognize that right here there's kind of like a, if you twisted the corner, it would be solved. So you can look at that. This is commonly known as the I know it case because of Luke Reiser. And then this edge is just going to stay where it is. So you do R, F, U prime, F to take this pair out, and then U prime, R, U, and then you do the ZBLS. So S prime, and then insert the pair into the back, S. So faster looks like this. Oof. So this is the mirror of the last case. For this alg, you can recognize it again because this corner would be solved if you twisted it, or you have a bar here and an edge between adjacent corners. So for this alg, I do R, U2, R prime, U prime, F. So taking this pair out and putting it right here. And then you take out this block of pieces with R, U2, R prime, and then U prime, reinsert it, and then F, R, U, R prime. For the for the AUF, this edge moves to the left, I think. Sorry. Faster would look like this. Yeah, it does. It moves to the left. For this alg, you can recognize it either by this corner matches this edge, and these two are opposites, or you can recognize it by these two corners match the right edge. So you hold it from this angle, this edge is going to move to the right, and you do R2 D prime, and then RU R prime to put this corner into the bottom, and then you do D R U, and then you're going to pair these up with R U prime R prime, and then you're going to insert this pair like U R U R prime U R U2. So faster would look like this. This last case, you can recognize it pretty much the same way. So you can either recognize that these two are opposites and then this edge matches the right corner, or you can just recognize that these two corners match the left edge. So you're going to hold it from the same position. This edge is going to move to the left, and you're basically going to do the same alg just in the front instead of the back this time. So R2 D R prime U R D prime R prime, and then U prime R, U prime R prime, and then you're just going to pair this up and solve it like that. So faster, it looks like this. Sorry.